All right, so the whole reason I'm out here, I wanted to talk about Velositol and Outright. I mean, you're the only person putting Velositol into a functional food.
Yeah, it's crazy that I'm the only one who thought of this, right? Like, especially for a breakfast item.
So from my side, over the last 2 years, bars have gone from being 30, 25 grams of protein to being candy bars that aren't as bad as a normal candy bar, right? And so the protein's gone down, but no one's done anything about improving the quality of that.
So the thing is, when you make a whole food protein, when you are going whole food and you're not using the prebiotic fibers and the glycerin and the stuff that tears up your stomach, you want to put in enough protein. And we've done focus groups on these, right? Mm-hmm. Like, females generally don't, 20 grams of protein is like, oh my goodness, that is anabolic. It's almost scary, right? It's like 20 grams of protein, that's a lot, especially when you're selling to kids.
Right.
But bodybuilders, they're like, oh, 15 grams of protein, that's a good amount. And you look at everything else in there, if it has whole food, superfood carbohydrate, healthy fats. So you got to look at the whole bar, right? With the Outright bar, we went with the whole, like, we want whole food. We want something you can eat pre-workout, post-workout, and as a snack during the day. We also got to realize, like, I formulated this bar for my kids. Like, it was literally formulated. I was at a soccer tournament in St. Charles, Illinois, the Midwest Cup in like 2010. My daughter's playing center midfield, not 2010, but like 2015. My daughter's playing like center midfield, right? Running 3 to 7 miles a game, playing 3 straight games. There's nothing to eat. Yeah. I can't give her a Quest or a One bar, which I think they're great bars, because, well, the prebiotic fiber and the glycerin, everything that's in those things, it's either going to cause a gut bomb or she's going to poop on the field.
Yeah, you can't shit on the field.
Can't give her a Cliff bar or a Z bar because it's just spike crash. So I sought out to create a bar that can sustain them during the game, give them protein, give them healthy fats, monounsaturates, mainly on monounsaturates, and give them superfood, slow digesting carbs. I also wanted a bar that I could eat as someone with irritable bowel syndrome that won't make me either really backed up or really the opposite.
Yeah.
So 3 years later, I was able to come out with the Outright bar in 2018, launched it, and it was just blew up. We didn't have boxes. We sold them in wrappers, because boxes take about 6 weeks to make. These take about a week and a half.
Wow, okay.
So we were like, dude, let's do it. Let's launch it at the Olympia. So we did. Retail stores were literally buying wicker baskets from Big Lots and putting in their store because everybody wanted these. And I'm like, whoa, because I literally just wanted to make enough. I wanted to sell enough to pay for my own family to eat them for free. That was our goal.
I like that.
My top out number, seriously, was $250,000 a year at its peak.
Wow.
In sales. Just selling to MTS customers.
Okay.
As an add-on, just online, just on Tiger Fitness. So it blew up. Next thing you know, we're in tens of thousands of gas stations, Vitamin Shop, all these things. #1 bar in Vitamin Shop. So I'm like, okay. Then we started getting into the vegan bars. Then we started getting into the different nut butters, the almond butter. Then we started getting into the nut-free sunflower seed butter. So we started getting all these things. And I'm like, breakfast. I want to make a breakfast bar in breakfast flavors. And that's where the mochaccino white chocolate came in, because mochaccino, delicious, right? So I'm like, what can we do to make this bar better? What can we do to make this better than breakfast? And the answer is, make the protein 2 times more bioavailable, 2 times more potent, and I want that potency to last for 8 hours afterwards. How do we make and so it was a no-brainer at that time in our Ritual AMN Ambrosia, and I was looking at it in a couple other products. We also use it in our big hydro from 015 Nutrition. But Velositol, it is an ingredient you could put in here. It allows you to use less protein, get more out of it. But if you use a normal amount of protein, it allows you to get more out of that. So there is no disadvantage. It's safe, it's effective, it doesn't raise the cost too much. And I cannot believe that I am the guy using this in pre and post workout protein, using this in a morning biohacking shake, and then morning that you mix into your coffee, and then using it in a functional food. This is by far the ingredient that can differentiate you from everybody.
Yeah. I joked with you about this the other night. Never before that I can think of is there an ingredient that allows you to use less of other things, which would save companies money, and no one's even using it. It makes things more powerful. It saves you costs on that protein. Although in a bar, like we said before,
Yeah.
and I think this is a great point. So you brought up that you made these bars for your kids. You made these
Yes.
bars for athletes because bodybuilders, like you said, they want to see 25, 30 grams. The bodybuilders don't make you money as a company. Bodybuilders are not as profitable.
Bodybuilders aren't shopping at Circle K for their bars.
Right.
They're not going to 7-Eleven. They're not going to all the different places that we sell at, So, but these are bodybuilder bars. Like, you shouldn't be eating a bar as a meal. If you want protein, if you want to get a heavy protein meal, eat some chicken, eat some bison, have a protein shake. This is to sustain you between meals as a snack. Or what I do is I add it on top of my meals as a fat, carbohydrate, and protein augmenter. Now, in the morning, a lot of people can't eat big meals. Mm-hmm. This is almost 300 calories. This is a good breakfast.
Yeah.
And for most people, it's a way better breakfast alternative than the shit they normally eat. So our thing is, how do we make this optimized? And what better time to take it? You eat this bar at 7 a.m., 8 hours later, your protein is still being optimized.
We talked about this yesterday. I have a horrible appetite first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have that. They wake up, they're just not hungry. Or they don't want to cook. And you can find tons of excuses. But something like this, it's easy to eat, tastes great. I like the waffles bar for breakfast.
Yeah.
I know you like your mochaccino.
Yeah.
But it tastes great. It's easy to get in. I could eat 2 of these for breakfast, go on my way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a mochaccino guy. Waffles does really well. Obviously, it's one of our better sellers. They're both really good sellers. But we always look at ways to differentiate and innovate. And with Velositol, using it in the bar, using it in the protein. And the thing is, there's no overdose. Like, it's like, hey, man, I ate an outright breakfast bar. Can I still have big hydro post-workout? Yeah. Of course you can. So will it be more? There's no data to show that taking more Velositol will do more. But let's say you have your bar at 7 a.m. You train at 4 p.m. You're in a good spot.
Oh, yeah.
A really good spot. So as a formulator and also as an innovator, we're early adopters. Like, I can point to so many ingredients that we were the first to use, or one of the first. From Core Biome to Velositol to Physicor. Mm-hmm. It's very scary being the first one. Prima V, we were the first one right after MuscleTech's exclusivity ended. They did a horrible job promoting that ingredient. Horrible job. Our thing is, we want good ingredients. Want patented, safe ingredients. Who knows what your stuff's tainted with?
Right.
That's why using an ingredient like Velositol, you know that the quality control is there. You're getting what is stated. And you have the power of their regulatory and their marketing to help.
Nutrition 21 does an awesome job with this. You know that their ingredients are clean.
Yes.
They're backed. They're a lot of them are made in America.
Yes.
And the team behind them, I mean, they're one of my favorite teams in the industry. I mean,
Yes.
you're talking about Todd, you're talking about some great people that are always going to have your back. I mean, we've seen a lot of ingredients come out, and unfortunately, things happen. They end up not being safe. They end up not being efficacious. All Nutrition 21 ingredients are GRAS certified.
Yes.
And that's a huge fear when you are an innovator, you're first to market. A lot of times you're coming in with ingredients that they have safety data, but they're not GRAS certified.
Well, I mean, yeah, you look at Physicor, GRAS. You look at Velositol, GRAS. A lot of people don't. You might see me, and it's hard to tell online, but those who spend time with me realize that other than my pre-workouts and my test boosters, my kids take all of my supplements. Mm. So when I formulate a supplement, my first thought is, can I give this to my kids? And the answer is absolutely. In fact, that's all they take. Like ambrosia nectar, like my kids drink that. Yeah. It's an organ health formula. Well, they're kids. I'm like, yeah. What a better time to have organ health. There's never a bad time to have healthy organs. No. So what I like to tell people is, if you know a guy who's selling, let's say, something, like if I'm going to a restaurant and the chef is fat and eats his own food, I know I'm going to get good food. If I go to a sushi place and there's people there literally from the country the sushi came from making it, I'm like, it's authentic sushi, right? If I buy a product, don't buy this bar because I'm a bodybuilder or I have 20 years of experience doing this. Buy it because I give this to my kids.
Right.
Because if you follow me on social media, you'll understand my kids are everything.
We showed up to your daughter's soccer game the other night,
Yes.
and you're bringing boxes of this for your wrestling kids.
So my wrestling kids are in the students, like during the soccer games, they're in the student section, basically the support section, whatever you want to call it. So they made a mistake of putting my guys next to the other school's guys, and my guys are just punking them. But yeah, I mean, I told my team captain, yo, bring out the entire squad. I'll bring a few cases of outright bars. So I have I bring them every day for my wrestlers to eat. Like, I made these for kids, but at the end of the day, man, I sell them to adults. So these were made for kids. So if you look at the macros, you look at the ingredients, like, these are awesome. And then you think, like, can I eat this? Realize the whole point we made this was for child nutrition. But we just happen to make a bar so awesome. Like, I hate when people, and you're a marketer, right? I hate when people are like, hey, our product is perfect for everyone. That's stupid.
Yeah, no.
That's stupid. Like, no, it isn't. Our product is damn close. Children, CrossFitters, vegans, people who can't eat nuts, people who want higher protein. We have the crisp variety with 20 plus grams. You want a bigger bar? We have the Big O bar, which has 25 grams of protein. It's 100 grams. It's got almost 500 calories.
You have to know who your demographic is.
Yeah.
People who say, like, oh, it's perfect for everyone. Well, if you're good for everyone, you're not good for anyone, really, usually.
But
you have a variety of bars now, too.
Yes.
So you've got your breakfast bars. You've got vegan bars.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got your more nut bars. And your big O15 bars are
Yeah.
obviously more bodybuilders.
And there's some that sell like shit. You know, I'm honest. People are like, why'd you discontinue this product? I'm like, 'cause nobody fucking bought it.
Yeah.
So the vegan bars sell pretty poorly, even though they're freaking amazing, because there's not many vegans. Like, they're really loud.
Yeah.
But there's really not that many. So even though it's a delicious banana walnut, chocolate chip, sunflower seed, but like we have all these, the blueberry crisps actually sells really well. But there's not, so they just see the word vegan, they're like, ugh, because vegan bars taste like shit. Like the no cow bar tastes like you're eating dirt. Can I get sued for that? It tastes, in my opinion, I don't enjoy the flavor.
Yeah. That was a nicer way of putting it. Yes. I mean, I gotta admit, so I went to Vitamin Shop the day before my flight out here, and I was like, I gotta get some outright bars because I like eating that on planes because it's better than whatever they're gonna give me usually. And so I look at it, and everything's gone except for the vegan bars.
Yeah.
Except for the waffle bars, and so I bought 2 of the waffle bars instead of buying any of the vegan bars because, admittedly, I don't want to eat a vegan bar.
Yes.
I know what it's gonna taste like.
But we still keep them because my goal is beyond profits. And I do have to throw some away because the vegan bars will expire.
Yeah.
They will expire because we just don't sell as many of them. But I want to make the world a healthier place. And this is a healthier snack option for normal people. Like when you go to a gas station, a mom goes with her kid and she stops, they have to pee, and they go into it twice daily, right? They're not thinking, man, I wonder if this will make me bigger and leaner. She's thinking, man, my kid's hungry. This packaging looks friggin' delicious. Let's give it a shot. Kid bites into it. I see this every day at the high school. What? Where do I get these? These kids go nuts. They go nuts because they're like, this tastes like a candy bar. And the mom's like, it's a healthier option. Done. Then they stop it. Then they go online. Because they're like, this is awesome, I got it from a gas station. They go to Tiger Fitness or Amazon, or they go into a local vitamin shop and they buy cases of it.
Absolutely.
And that's been our marketing. Like, we don't have Cliff Bar's marketing budget. We don't have those kind of budgets. But if you try this bar, that's why I look at like, why are you doing good in gas stations? Because it's delicious packaging and people have heard about it somewhere. Like our neighbors, like, dude, you own Outright Bar? Like, they move in here, like, oh my God, like, I've been eating those forever. And these are not lifters.
Right. It's meatloaf.
But if I go to, Meatloaf lives down the street from me. But if you go to my neighborhood, if you go to my gym, it's their number 1 selling bar. If you go to most gyms, it's their number 1 selling bar. So to say our product is as close to for everyone as any product that's ever been out there. Because protein powder is not for everyone. Plus, we made it where it's whey isolate without lactose.
Yeah.
So it's easier. So I could say, even people with lactose issues. And if you have lactose issues that's really bad, we have vegan bars that don't use any dairy at all. There's nobody. And I'm allergic to nuts. We have a sunflower seed butter-based bar. But going back to Velositol, you see where my mind's going with this.
Totally.
It's that I didn't want to just create a snack I wanted to create the snack where everybody, you know, and I said this accidentally in a promo video, whoever you are, whatever you do, there's an outright bar that's perfect for you. There is.
That's nice.
And when people go, oh, well, there's parentheticals in that, meaning that, you know, peanut butter does have other ingredients in trace amounts. Like they're trace, like under like milligrams, right? Okay, cool.
Get your sunflower seed bar.
We have the cashew butter bar, which has the cinnamon donut, 5 ingredients. 5 total ingredients.
I like it.
Yeah.
And it's shelf stable.
Yes. We made it where even if it gets hot, when it unheats, it forms back.
I remember, so before the outright bar, my favorite bar was the best bar.
It's a great bar.
Meadows had a great bar back then. And I remember the biggest part was that had to be refrigerated.
It was horrible for distribution.
Yeah, I mean,
those trucks are stupid expensive.
That was tough. But that's my favorite thing about this. I can keep one in my truck. And in Jersey, it gets fucking hot in the summer. I can keep it in the truck. It'll get hot, but by the time it cools back down, I can still eat it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Cookie pieces might move around, but
yeah,
it's good. I love it.
I think that we've done something special here. And again, like partnering with people like Todd at Nutrition 21, and that takes it to the next level. And I don't care if I sell one of these, I'm keeping them. Mm-hmm. Because when you own a bar category, you have to own it. Or else someone's going to take your spot. Yeah. I have 31 varieties of the outright bar. And we have peanut butter jelly coming in the next 4 weeks.
That sounds good.
I actually think I have a sample, but it's not the final one. But you'll get the hint.
We should do it. We should try it.
We should try, but it's not the final one. It's lacking. We got a better piece, better piece of strawberry. Ooh. But you'll get the flavor.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the crunch.
Does it have a jelly to it?
So that was messy. That was horrible.
Bet. Yeah,
that was disgusting.
Who did that back in the day? It was those disgusting, like 1,500. Yeah, and they had that jelly in the center. It was like glycerol almost. It was disgusting.
It was bad.
Good.
It was bad. But we made it taste like a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Cool.
In fact,
and it's a strawberry jelly.
Oh, it's strawberry. So I'll show you the packaging, but let me see if I have one, and if we do, we'll try it out.
We've got a lot of cool videos coming. I'm excited about this. I really want to do that kinetic RTD. Yes. I want to do that. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming that you're not very loud about. That a lot of innovators, whatever, are constantly like, oh, here's these samples coming out, all this great stuff. You gotta just drop it and let it happen. Yeah, I mean, I have really good partners. You know, like with 015, we have Brandon Curry. Yeah. With Ambrosia, Mike Rashid is the face of that company. And I don't think people know this, but my goal when I started these companies is not to be the guy. But who else can explain the products better than me? My goal is to be in the background. I miss my days at Weeder Publications when no one knew who I was. Like, I'm a nerd. I just look where I live. Does this look like somebody who gives a fuck about being in the public eye? I live in the forest, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I just want to make cool products and help people reach their goals and coach kids. Like, everybody's like, dude, look at his ego. I'm like, you have no idea. And that's why with Mike Rashid as the face of Ambrosia, he is Ambrosia. Yeah. You know, and we got the other guys like NDO, Champ, and these guys represent the brand well. So I'll do a lot for Ambrosia, but at the end of the day, I'm behind the scenes. And that's where I want to be. And with Outright, 99% of people buy Outright Bar don't even know I exist. And that's how I want it. Well, to be real about it, you can also sell that company a lot easier. Well, I mean, exit strategy doesn't do well when you're the one attached to the brand. Yeah. So there is an exit. I'm not going to lie. Business-wise, there is an exit strategy out there because I don't want to be doing this when I'm 80. Yeah. I mean, if anything, I trust a company more that has thought that out. You have to have an exit strategy. That's right. Beyond the scope of this video. But, you know, when you start a company, you need to have a number. And you need to know that when you hit that number, and I'd hate to go for it, but you have to mention it. He knows it happened. Gaspari at one point was a $79 million company. Let's just say that it didn't get $79 million when he sold it. Yeah. Yeah. And then he bought it back. He did. And I love Rich, but I think he knows sometimes you can overstay your welcome. My father-in-law had a company, security company, was offered a few million just to get him out of the scene. And he said no, because he had and then he passed away. We got pennies on the dollar. Got to know when it's your time, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Ego has no place. Like, a lot of people will message me and be like, you have such a big ego. I'm like, you have no idea. I'm just doing what I can to promote my brands. And yes, I do know I make the best products on earth. And let's say you're not buying my brand. If you ask your brand what's the best pre-workout, they don't say their own and say why. And you ask why and they say because I fucking made it. Don't buy that pre-workout. Because that man has no confidence in what he does. Yeah. I mean, I think you dominate the categories that you're in. And you're actually, it's kind of cool because you have so many different channels. You got your Tiger. Outright's obviously huge with Vitamin Shop, right?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say dominate. We have our positions, and again, it's not me. Like, I'm never the smartest guy in the room. Like, when I'm sitting down with Sean and Mike, they're better than me at everything. My business partner, Chad Vordameshi at Tiger Fitness, he runs circles around me daily, and he makes me feel stupid. My wife is smarter than me. Chris Jones, in a lot of ways, can run circles around me.
But you learn.
Brandon Curry. I'm in there, and I'm absorbing like a sponge. And I offer my strengths. But for me to sit here and say that I'm this mastermind, if I'm the mastermind of anything, it's knowing that I suck at a lot of things. And I surround myself with people who are so much better than me. But I'm not afraid to speak up and say my opinion. But again, everybody from my shipping manager to my partner, Chad, will tell me. Because I want people to be, I want to be around people, my wife, my partners, who aren't afraid to say, Mark, that was fucking ridiculously wrong. That was stupid.
Yeah.
See, I almost said that was wrong. I'm like, dude, you're right. But I don't want to work with people. Like, you see a lot of these guys, company owners in this industry, no names mentioned. We talked about one before. It's like, well, you got to bow. I'm the man. I'm the man. Dude, I'm just the guy who writes the checks. That's all I am.
And so bring everything full circle. This is kind of the first time, for Outright at least, where you've brought in another brand, Nutrition 21's Velositol. And how did that work? You learned from them, hey, this is what this ingredient does.
Yeah.
Did you decide to make that marketing around that ingredient important?
Well, I just wanted something to differentiate, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted something good. And honestly, I'm a huge fan of the ingredient. It is a phenomenal ingredient. And I think it's criminal that it's not being used more. And I actually think it's great because I'm the one using it. But if more people use it, it brings more notoriety to them, which brings more notoriety to my call-outs. So I hope everybody starts using it. And then I can say I was first and I'm smarter than everybody. But honestly, it just, first thing I did, I was like, my wife and I were like, we got to make a breakfast. But I'm like, well, other than the flavor, how to make a breakfast? I'm like, first thing that came to mind is Velositol.
Because you start your day with it. You get all those hours of optimization.
And we already did it with Ritual AM. So I've already been to the breakfast community with it. You know, it's already been something in my mind. Start your day with something that enhances your protein absorption.
Yeah. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I don't really want to eat protein. You enhance that. I mean, that's awesome.
It is an infallible ingredient, completely infallible. And again, man, like, it's a blessing to have it in 3 of my products because I know it's safe. I know it's effective. And I know that at the end of the day, I want to be able to look people in the eye and say, I gave you something for a very fair price that will deliver on the promises that we made.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not GACIC. So, I mean, I'm going to get sued twice.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm not going to mention HMB, though, I promise.
I mean, I was going through your cabinet. Well, we'll stick to the supplements in your cabinet.
Not the other one.
No, not the other one.
That one has some weird stuff.
The supplement facts panels you have on your products. I mean, in an age in this industry where everything's like a kitchen sink, right? Yeah. You stick to the basics that work, and so you don't have. I mean, there's a lot of other ingredients you could throw in your bars, but you stick to one that. Yeah. I mean, the data for Nutrition 21. I mean, they actually run human studies.
Dude, they're running millions of dollars in studies.
Yeah, and they're actually humans.
I wanted to get a study on one of my products. And it was $600,000 for not even a good study. And then if I did it in India, it was like $250,000.
Yeah, and you get the data you want from them too.
So that's why with Velositol, I actually just sent off to Hector to conduct a study, $10,000 worth of Outright bars.
Wow.
To Hector Lopez.
Of course. 3D
pump, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
So we are involved in studies. Outright bar will be used in this study. It's not the point of the study, but it will. We look, a lot of people, like, we saw each other at the ISSN conference. Like, we stay up with science.
Yeah. I mean, that learning there was awesome. And we saw each other because I was sitting there with Nutrition 21.
Exactly.
And there were not other companies there.
No.
There was Lane Norton.
It was us and Lane.
Yeah.
But
Lane didn't talk to us. So.
No, Lane talked to me. We hugged.
Did he?
Yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah. It was a good hug, too. Crotch to crotch action.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah. Natural.
Sorry to make you jealous.
I am very jealous, but we have a lot of cool stuff. So after this, we'll jump into maybe some Ambrosia stuff.
There you go.
Hit a whole bunch of stuff. So we're signing out now.
That's not a game.